Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Monday the 9th of November. So just looking at what we got ahead then here, euro dollar. In fact, before I even do that, let's just look. We've got Lagarde speaking at 9:25. That's a specific odd time there. 9:25 due to speak at the Green Horizon Summit via satellite. Okay. Probably not going to affect the currencies too much there. And we've got Bank of England Governor speaking at 10:35 due to speak at the same thing. So neither of those I expect will be doing too much to currencies. So that aside, there is nothing today nor tomorrow. So we're left purely to, of course, the US elections and whether Trump is going to concede or not. It's interesting watching the voting coming through in terms of now who thinks he's actually going to concede and who thinks he's going to hang in there. I guess we've got Brexit on the sideline there as well. So there's a few things that sort of sitting around we've got to be a bit careful of. Looking in just general terms, before I look at the euro technically, there is I think I just saw 3.1 billion sitting there at 3.1 billion sitting at 119 worth of options. Now this may just put a bit of a cap on things. It depends what type of option they are, but I can't see that. But I do know there's 3.1 billion sitting there at 119. So that may in itself just provide a bit of a cap on until 2 o'clock. If it pushes through that, well, maybe there's support on it. So just watching that. The other thing is, of course, technically here we've pushed straight up in a nice solid movement, broken the trend line here. I wouldn't be too shocked if we got some sort of retracement today. Weekly pivots are sitting below, as you can see here. Weekly pivots sitting down here around about the 180 or 117, 90, 88, 89 sort of area. So we've got pivots sitting right the way down there. Let me just adjust my dailies. Dailies will be below us as well because we had a good shove up on Friday. So we will have some draw. Let me just that's on daily bar, that's fine. So we've got the daily pivots here sitting here at 1853. So there is a bit of a draw to the downside this morning, but as I say, it may only be for this morning. Aside of that, then the pound's solid up day. Solid up day Thursday. Well, Friday didn't really come too much on the pound, and we've seen a little bit of a push up here. So slowing down of this sort of accelerated move. Again, weekly pivots below. Slightest bit of bad news, and we could probably on Brexit or dodgy news on Brexit, we could see that sort of that weekly pivot sort of targeted. Again, pivots below here, which sitting there about that 31.40ish area. So there is a 39 area, so we have got potential points on the pound here below as well. So just watching that. Dollar yen. Again, well, support again into. This is obviously not a gain into at all. It's an inversion trend line. Just finding support into the lower trend line channel, beg your pardon, into lower channel here, finding a bit of a bounce coming through. We have got the weekly pivot sitting above, which may cause a bit of a draw to that upside. Okay, that's the yen. Aussie dollar. Again, pivots are going to be below. Actually, Friday again, it's a bit like the pound, just didn't catch the same sort of bid there, and we've seen this sort of holding bar there, consolidation. It has pitched up a little bit higher this morning. Again, we've got pivots sitting below. We've got a bit of divergence running across the highs on this Aussie dollar as well. So interesting to see if it starts breaking down now. A break of that 4-hourly 8 may just be sufficient to get it rolling. We'll just be watching that. Again, daily pivot sits below there, so that could be also a draw to the downside there. So just to watch for these. So after a week of sort of surging, maybe there's some room for some support and some reversals slightly. I'm not suggesting that this will be anything major, but again, you see this Canadian dollar, it's almost gone down in a straight move here. Would expect some sort of retracement potentially there. Again, weekly pivot in this case sits above, it's inverted, so we're sitting above there. That that 60-50 on the daily could even be quite nice later if these markets are really strong. But again, daily pivots, weekly pivots, both sitting above there at the moment on the Canadian dollar. So similar picture all the way through there, with the pivots coming in the earlier part of the week. Often they get hit earlier rather than later. So we'll see how things shape up this morning. S&P's catching the bid this morning, as the European equity markets are. And we're pushing back here, looking like it wants to push into all-time highs again at this stage on the S&P. So regardless of what's happened, big bullish pivot swing sitting there on the S&Ps. So good solid move running there. Okay, that's pretty much it for me this morning. As I say, nothing in the way of news of major significance that we will see aside of the US, etc. Right, have a great day. Bye for now.